And now let's take a moment to review the latest happenings at the rolling dumpster fire that is the Dr. Oz Senate campaign. Now, in case you haven't been following, Dr. Oz, who doesn't live in Pennsylvania, is the Trump hand-picked candidate to take the Senate seat currently held by Republican Pat Toomey in that state. His opponent is John Fetterman, who's looking to flip the seat blue and preserve the Senate majority and hopefully increase the Senate majority for the Biden White House. Now, earlier this year, John Fetterman had a stroke. You may have heard about that, and it sidelined him for a while. But even without being able to make public appearances, he still continued to outrace Dr. Oz and hold a very convincing lead in the race. That's never a good sign for a candidate, but at this point, Dr. Oz would probably lose an 8th grade presidential race at an all-girls school to Jeffrey Epstein. Dead or alive, wouldn't matter. Now, Dr. Oz is still recovering from the beating he took for his crudité video, which if you haven't seen, we covered in a video just yesterday. I can barely keep up with all of Dr. Oz and his dopasaurus lumberings day after day after day. Anyway, in this grocery store video, Oz complained about the high price of ingredients needed to make his wife a crudité platter, which we people on Earth commonly refer to as a plate of vegetables. He held up some broccoli and some carrots and asparagus and bitched about the prices, though he left out the part where his wife's family is collectively estimated to be worth $3 billion. It was not a smart move for sure, and I was hardly the only person who covered it and pointed out that Oz not only seemed desperately out of touch with Pennsylvanians, but was pretty much also grubbing around at the bottom of his limited little bag of tricks as he sadly limps through these final days to ignominious defeat in November. But the Oz campaign loves to double down on stupidity, and leading the way is his communications advisor, Rachel Tripp, soon to be bagging your order at Taco Bell. She gave this quote to the Business Insider: "If John Fetterman had ever eaten a vegetable in his life, then maybe he wouldn't have had a stroke." She added a line above, "an apple a day," sadly seeming to not understand that an apple is a fruit and not a vegetable, but I don't think she should really care either way since she's probably gonna have both hurled at her the next time she goes out in broad daylight. So what have we learned here? Number one, just when you think Dr. Oz can't get any worse, can't get any lower, can't get any sadder as a candidate, he shows us all up by revealing the sad truth that he recruits his communication team by sending out one of those Tippy the Turtle drawing challenges printed on the back of matchbook covers. For future reference, Dr. Oz, don't hire people whose resumes include in the skill set section coupon clipping, organizing Mindy Project watch parties, and having 86% positive feedback on eBay. Number two, if you've ever worried that you may not be qualified for that dream job, the one you really want, just remember this. This girl got hired to help steer a national Senate campaign. And number three, John Fetterman is the only guy in this Pennsylvania Senate race worthy of consideration, be you a Republican, be you a Democrat, or whatever the hell Andrew Yang is calling himself these days. Fetterman, at the very least, is running a respectful, clean, tight, engaging campaign. He is staying focused on issues that Pennsylvanians actually care about, like preserving a woman's right to choose, like pushing the minimum wage to $15, like protecting the rights of unions, like honoring the rights of all Americans to marry the person that they love regardless of gender. And unlike Dr. Oz, John Fetterman has never pushed lousy weight loss products to his TV audience. He has never suggested to Sean Hannity that reopening schools in the United States during COVID might be worth the increased number of deaths it would cause. And he has never pushed hydroxychloroquine as an antidote to the virus like some other washout window lickers we all know and loathe. P.S. In August 2010, Dr. Oz was diagnosed with a precancerous polyp in his colon after having a colonoscopy. What this dingleberry might suggest Oz could have done to avoid that serious and potentially deadly situation, we may never know, as she's probably not going to be findable on social media for much longer. As we continue to follow the campaign of Dr. Oz, the Kevin Federline of the political world, be sure to subscribe to YouCantBeatBlue on YouTube and join our Facebook group, and then follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit, where I was banned by 2 groups just today.